This is the Louie Tee Network.
In the lab room. 5 minutes or less.
Houston Texans. Welcome, you are in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. 5 Minute or Less series, 2014 schedule release of the Houston Texans. My, oh my, how the mighty have fallen. Man, they had an egregious 2013 season, but that's in the past. That's behind us now. There's only one lasting effect from that season. Your primetime games when referring to the schedule. Let's look at this schedule. Primetime games, only 2. And so they deserve that. I mean, when you go 2-14, hold the number 1 overall pick in the draft, that's normally what happens. So we start with Thursday Night Football, week number 6 at home for the Indianapolis Colts. Andrew Luck coming to your building. They won the division last year. This is a statement game early in the season. How good are you? How relevant are you going to be in this division? We will find out very quickly. Week 6, Thursday Night Football, Texans at home with the Indianapolis Colts. You look at week number 7, the very next week. So you get your primetime games out of the way nice and early, back-to-back weeks. Week 7, you are at the Steelers on Monday Night Football. So you go week 6, Thursday night, home for the Colts. Come back the very next week, week 7, at the Steelers. That's going to be a tough game. Steelers are always a tough out in the National Football League. Now you add to the fact that it's a Monday night game and you're at the Steelers, going to be a tough get for you on the road. But again, if you want to be a good football team, got to find a way to get wins on the road. So you move from there to divisional games. And honestly, this is where you need to focus. This is where you need to put a lot of your resources and energy right here into winning games within this division. Because to be honest with you, this division is wide open. You look at this division, and the Colts won this division last season by default. Not because they weren't a good team, not because they didn't deserve to win this division, but because nobody else wanted this division. I mean, the Colts had this division wrapped up by about week 15 because nobody else in this division was even any good. So if you're the Texans, you got to be saying to yourself, if we get the right quarterback, if we turn this thing around, if Bill O'Brien is the coach that we think he can be, then why not us? Why can't we be the AFC South champions in 2014? Good question. Here's what you have to do. Win games in the division. You start week 6, home for Indy. Just talked about that being a Thursday night primetime game. Take care of business at home. That's the first way to win a division. Winning games within a division at home. That's goal number 1. You go to week 15, you're at Indy. You want to be the champions? You got to beat the champions. Go to Indy in week 15, find a way to get it done. Week 14, home for Jacksonville. The Jaguars beat you last season in Jacksonville. You can't allow the Jaguars to beat you at all. Now, if they're a good team, hey, all bets are off. But if they're a 3-win, a 4-win Jacksonville Jaguars team, and you plan on winning this division, then they can't beat you at all. Week 14, at home, you got to take care of business. Week 17, last week of the season, if this division's on the line, if a playoff berth is on the line, you got to go to Jacksonville, strap it up, and get a W. Week 13, you're home for the Tennessee Titans. That's another team that's scary in this division. You don't know what you're getting from week to week from the Tennessee Titans. You got to take care of business versus the Titans at home. Week 8, you got to go to Tennessee and try to take care of a little bit of family business. Again, you want to win this division, you're going to have to find a way to win road games within the division. And so you move on to anomalies. And anomalies for me are stretches in the schedule that stand out. It could be 3 out of 4 on the road or at home, 4 out of 5 on the road or at home, 3 straight at home or on the road, 4 straight at home or on the road, or even a game over in London. So you look at anomalies, no home anomalies for this Texans team, but they do have an away anomaly, and that's 3 out of 4 on the road, weeks 2 through 5. So early in the season, the schedule makers want to see what you're about. They want to test your mettle early on. Are you a good football team? Are you going to bounce back from that 2-14 miserable campaign you had a season ago? We're going to find out rather quickly how good you are, because the good teams in this league win on the road. You've got 3 out of 4 on the road early in the season. You've got to find a way to get wins on the road to stay afloat early in the season, or you'll be sinking fast before you even get a chance to get your feet wet in 2014. So you look at your bye week. Week number 10 for the Houston Texans, a wonderful bye, gives you a chance in the middle portion of the season to recharge the battery and potentially go on a stretch run thereafter. Excellent bye, week 10 for the Houston Texans. Now you go to mark your calendar games. And for you, there's only one. Week 6, Thursday Night Football against the Indianapolis Colts. The first time you see the AFC South champions from a season ago, they're at your place on primetime television. Time for you to make a statement. That's the time to do it right there at home. Beat those guys and let them know that they're not walking away with the division as easily as they did a season ago. And because the Texans have such a rough schedule down the stretch, I need a 20-second timeout. All right, Texans, this is what it all comes down to. Your final 4 out of 5 games are against divisional opponents. So no matter what you've done to this point, you're still going to have a shot if you're able to play solid football throughout the season, because you're going to be able to decide your own fate within this division. Now, again, if you play some subpar football and Indy or Tennessee gets hot and run away from you, then there's nothing you can do. But if you play some middle-of-the-road ball and you get hot at the right time within this division, late, you could have a shot. Week 13, home for Tennessee. Week 14, home for Jacksonville. Week 15, at Indy. Week 17, at Jacksonville. So there you have it. 5-week stretch, 4 divisional games, 2 of which are against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So you've got to take care of business. You got Indy at home. You got to go to Tennessee one time. If you're the Texans, this is an opportunity for you to make a claim, stake a claim in this division that, hey, I'm back. But you got to take care of business within this division first and foremost. Time in. And that's going to do it for the Houston Texans in 5 minutes or less. Like the content? Want more? Sub up.
In the Lab